Hello blends and beyond folk. I am just going to quickly make sure I am in my group for a little bit of spontaneous colouring. I tend to do this. Just let me check that I'm in the right space. Yes, there I am. Make sure my volume is down so I don't hear myself. And hopefully I will be able to see comments as well. So hello, welcome everyone. I am colouring this morning, so I thought I might as well jump in and do some colouring live with everyone. So I'm going to be doing the wheelbarrow with the flowers. I got a bit of glare on there, light glare, from the Garden Meadow stamp set. And this is a really fun one. Yesterday I did a fairly basic type of colouring, but this time I thought I might try and do a little bit of a different technique with it. So we'll see what happens. Okay, I'm actually going to stamp this in smoky slate instead of black. So if you are new to Stampin' Blends and you've only ever stamped with Memento, you can, because because our markers are alcohol, we can use any water-based ink pad, which means we can stamp with any of the Stampin' Up colours because they are all water-based. So I'm going to start with smoky slate. So hello Michelle. It's a gorgeous suite, isn't it? So I'm just going to pop that aside. I'll deal with that. I'll clean that up later. Okay, so I haven't actually picked out any colours yet. I do want to zoom in though. Let me get in my position. Sorry, these tend to get a little bit, because I'm spontaneous, I've got no idea what's going on in my head. Okay, so I do know though that I'm going to start with the bowl, I think, and I'm going to do a little bit of rust detail. So I think I want to grab my not Calypso Coral, some of my lids are fading a wee bit, and copper clay. Oh, copper clay may work. I might try that, but I also want my Cajun craze, and I think I want my smoky slate as well. Okay, so this is all just going to be ad lib, okay, everyone? So if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I'm just going to do a little bit of colour swatching to see what colours I have got. So this one is the dark copper clay, and I haven't used these before. Light copper clay. So they will come in handy. Calypso, Cajun Craze, which is more of a red brown, which is probably more of your rust colour, and light Cajun Craze. So I might actually use both of them, I reckon. And I've got a little bit of flare going on, so let me just see if that's a bit better, isn't it? It means I don't have the light, but I think it's better than having that rolling thing going on, which I can't stand. I wish you could put a flash on your cameras. That would be really handy. What's this little button? Oh, look at that. Did that do anything? I think that did a little bit. I did actually was able to turn the light on my phone, so I think that's doing something. Maybe not. Anyway, we'll see. I just got to remember to turn it off. And I've got plastic underneath me. I'm working with plastic underneath me, so that's giving a little bit of reflection as well. Okay, so let us start on our, where am I going to start? I think I'll start on the bowl, and I've got my colour swatching in front of me so I can see my colours. So I think I'll start with my Calypso Coral, and I keep calling it Calypso Coral, Cajun Craze Dark. And I think I'm just going to do I'm trying to think where the rust would be. So probably under the lips. Trying to think of our wheelbarrow and how rusty that can get. And in the bowl, we've got actually one of our wheelbarrow actually does have a little bit of rust actually has a hole in the bottom of the bowl, and it's right around this area here. So I'm just going to dot in some of the dark Cajun Craze. Okay, oops, my hand's completely in the way, apologies, but that is because I am right up on the tip of my marker. So, and then I'm going to come in with my light, so I'm right up on the point, right up on the point of my marker here, so which is why my hand is covering. So I'm going to try and shift my hand out the way, but it means that I'm out. What am I using? Now I'm using, oh no, that is the light. It feels different. It feels like I'm using the dark. So anyway, I'm just dotting more of this Cajun craze on. So I'm doing the light and I'm just going over the top of everything that I've done just to sort of add a little bit more and blending it in. Okay, it's been a long time since I've done little rust spots, so this will be interesting. Okay, dark smoky slate. And I'm going to come under the lip of this little thing here. Bear in mind there is a leaf there as well, so I'm going to come down under the leaf because there will be a little bit of a shadow, and there's a bit of shadow under that lip, under the leaves. And goes up there. Okay. So, and then I'm just going to flip around, now that I've done that little bit there, I'm just going to flip around to my brush tip end and just give that a little bit more depth. Okay, extend it out a little bit. Right, so coming in with my light now, and I'm just going to come in from the top and going to go over the top of everything that I have done. So re-wet all of that, and then I can fill that gap in. That my nib is getting a little bit soft on this one too. And I'm going straight over all the top of that little rusty area as well. So I'm going to come back with it second time. This is with my dark now. So, and I can go quicker because I've already gone over it once. I sort of know where I'm going. Coming with the darker area again, and then I'm going to come in with a light. And going over it a couple of times actually eats out a little bit of that Cajun craze that I put down. So you can see some of it from over here has actually disappeared, which is fine because we don't want, you know, big heckledy speckledy dots everywhere. We do want it to sort of migrate into it because that's what rust sort of does. And then I'm just going to come in one more time. I might come in with my bullet tip this time and just really go under that lip there, because that is going to have deeper darkness than what the leaves won't be casting as much of a shadow as what that lip will be. Okay, and then with the rim, I'm just going to do that in the light, just so that it's a little bit separate. Okay, around there. Okay, now I am going to do the frame next, but I don't want to do the frame in, I've been looking at photos of wheelbarrows full of flowers, and there was one and it actually had like a turquoisey blue handle, but it was mixed in with, like, you know how sometimes it all starts to peel off and the paint peels and you get little rust spots and all that type of thing. So that's what I want to do here. So I might use, what color? I'm not going to team this up with a paper, so I can sort of do whatever I want, but I do want to do those beautiful pink and purple flowers that I did yesterday. So I need something that is going to work in with them. At least I think I'm going to do, maybe I'll do white flowers. I haven't got there yet. So maybe I'll do my leaves. Let me do my leaves. So you've got to sort of think about what you're going to do, because if you do something in the wrong color, then it's a bit hard to come back. So I know that my leaves are going to be nice and bright and green. So this is Granny Apple Green, and these are honestly really quick. They're too small to do a whole lot of detail work in them. So we're just going to slap down the color. So a little bit of dark, just in that middle. I think that one's a leaf there too. And sometimes you miss them and then you've got to come back and colour them again. So, and then with the light, just going straight over the top. So over all of it, including the dark area that we've already put down. So if you have any questions for me while I'm colouring, please do ask. I will look up and check the comments as I go. So, but I'm native in Facebook groups, so I need to keep checking. But if you have questions, let me know. Okay, and then I'm going to come back again with my dark, and I'm just going to dot a little bit more of the dark right at the base of those leaves. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to do, what colour flowers should I do? I'm thinking about leaving those ones white actually, and then just putting maybe some hot pink on the background there, but I'm not, on those little ones that are at the back, but I'm not 100% sure what I want to do. But I do want to just come in with my light and just blend that in a little bit more. Got a little bit of a hard line going on, which I don't like. We'll try and eliminate that hard line. Okay, anybody got any suggestions? Bright colours? Bright colours. Maybe I will do the pink, and I'll do the Melon Mambo, and what did I do? Highland Heather. So I will do them again because they were so bright and pretty. And because I've got a different colour, I did one yesterday, which was all yellow, but I quite like the nice bright flowers. Okay, so this is light Melon Mambo, and I'm just squiggling. I'm not actually colouring, I'm just squiggling. So I'm not taking my pen off the page here, except for when I need to move my hand because I've run out of room. So I'm just sort of squiggling that on, I think you can see. So I'm not really colouring, sort of helping me to fill in any of the white gaps. And it makes it really easy as well. So my pen didn't leave the paper until I had to actually shift my hand. And then coming in with the dark, and I'm just going to dot the centers of some of the flowers. We can't see all of the flowers, so I'm just going to dot some of them. And because I've stamped in smoky slate instead of black, we sort of lose a lot of that detail. So these will be a little bit softer than what I did yesterday. And you can come back in a second time if you want a little bit more darkness. Okay, and then sort of similar to the background, I'm going to do purple flowers up the back. And what I'm going to do is just taking my light one first, and I apologize because my hand will be in the way again, but I'm going to be up on the tip of my bullet, and I'm just going to dot. Leave them fairly spaced out. You want a fair bit of white space because we're going to come in with the dark. We're just dotting. Okay, and then we'll come in with the dark and we'll do the same thing. We'll just fill in some of those spaces. But again, you want to leave a reasonable amount of space. If you do it quick, you don't sort of stew over it too much. Like, oh my gosh, where's the next dot going to go? You won't do that. You'll just fill it in, and where it lands, it lands. Just like that. Bright colours. Okay, so we're getting a little bit closer. I might do the wheel next and see where we land when I've done the wheel. So I'm thinking maybe a little bit of I would like to do a turquoisey blue, but I don't know that I've got a turquoisey blue. What's a turquoisey blue that we have? Azure Afternoon, maybe? Okay, so I'm going to do my dark, and I'm going to come under, this is black, basic black. Okay, and then a little bit down here. And if you look at most of the, if you're looking, searching for photos of wheelbarrows with flowers in them, a lot of them have flat tires as well, just saying. Okay, so this is the light, so just filling in. Whoops, make sure you keep it as a circle. I think I've just taken that one out of circle shape. I was going too quick. Okay, yep, stuffed that one up a little bit, didn't I? It's not so much a circle anymore. It looks like a record. Oh dear. Anyway. So light again, so just doubling this one, make it nice and rich. Okay, coming back, where's my Cajun craze? And might do just a little bit, a few more dots with the light, might actually get eaten out, so. And then I'm going to do some under here and in these little darker areas, and of course down the base here we tend to lose a bit of paint off those base bits because they get bumped and knocked into each other. Okay, we got any colour suggestions? Michelle says she keeps telling her hubby that she wants to plant flowers in her wheelbarrow, but he won't let it. See, you've got to make sure that they're rusty and that there's something wrong with the wheelbarrow. So he needs to go and get himself a new wheelbarrow, or a wheelbarrow for Christmas maybe, and then you can have the old one. Maybe I will, let's try, what colour is this? What colour did I pull out? Azure. Okay, let me just do a quick little colour swatch, just so I know what colours I'm playing with. That probably would be nice and bright, don't you think? See, look, there's a perfect Christmas. Buy him a new wheelbarrow, and then you can have the old one. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to start with my blue in the dark, and I'm going to use the bullet tip because it's just really fine. Okay, and when I get to the area where there's a bit of rust, I will just dot, and then I can bring in some darker. So they're that small, it's really hard to get a bit of detail in there. This back bit will be darker because it's in the being covered a bit more. Okay, and then I can come in with my light, because I've seen a few that had, this might be a little bit dark. I saw a few that had different coloured frames, and it had, they had like a metal bucket, but then it had coloured frame around it. So that's why I thought I would try a different coloured one. Okay, and then we'll do my handle in dark. Okay, and then I can come in and just dot in a little bit more shadow in those darker areas. Because if it is rusty, there is no shine on it, so we don't want any shiny metal, we just want dull. Just want really dull metal. And the edges won't even be nice and sharp, because rust is a little bit flaky as well. now we're just going to do the center of this, of the wheel. Now the colors the one that I did see actually had, it was like the rusty color, but I might do it in the smoky slate, but I might put a little bit of rust around that as well. So in the dark, and I might do it around where that tire bolt thing would be, where the tire attaches to the frame. Okay, and then with my grey, my smoky slate, should call them by the correct names, right? Getting all my stuff mixed up. So I'm just going to come in and do some dark around there just to cover that, and then now I'll just fill in with my light. Pity we can't give it a flat tire. I suppose I could try and make it flat. I managed to destroy the top part of the tire, so surely I could destroy the bottom part. So there we have. Now, does anybody want me to come in with pencils and do a little bit of pencil work to show you that? Just a wee bit. Maybe I'll get my black out just to add a little bit of... just to add a little bit more. Here's my black. So I'm just going to come in. I can probably get rid of that now. So I can just come in under here for a little bit more. Like I said, we won't be using any white because there is basically, there wouldn't be any highlights on a rusty wheelbarrow, but I can come in with my black and just add a little bit more to the shadowy areas. Get a nice sharp pencil. And then if you do want to firm up any of those lines that you've got going on, you can do that. So just under the bowl. There, that leg there at the back, that little thing, I'm going to colour right over the top of that. I feel that there should be another handle back here because we've got the underside of, we've got the other side of this one, we've got the other side of that one, and I feel that there should actually be another handle. Just, you know, the tip of it should be showing, but it isn't drawn in, and I'm not smart enough to draw one in, so I'm not going to. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of dark around these areas on that side, a little bit of dark because it's on the inside, and then I might be able to try and crisp up these edges of the tires being black. And just a little bit under there. So this is where the pencils come in handy because I missed a little bit. That's still a little bit grey under there, so I can definitely come in and fill in any of those spaces. I can crisp up these lines again. If you want them crispy. Oh, that looks good. Just by putting a really faint line on there, it sort of really separates it from, sort of gives it a little bit of distance from the tire. You probably can't notice on the screen. I can notice it in person that that's made a little bit of a difference. So, and then I might just see if I can just gently crisp up that line a little bit more as well. So there we go. And of course, if you wanted to, you could go and add a little bit more depth into your leaves. See, and now I start playing and I keep seeing other things to play with. I guess because we've added a little bit of darkness into the bowl and the wheelbarrow, we can come up here and add a little bit more into the leaves just to balance. And because it's super, like the pencil's super fine, we can easily do that, easier than a blend nib. So do you see how that's just sort of brought a little bit more balance? And then probably around in these areas here, we can, just to help separate some of those flowers around the edges. And I know, I've said Stampin Smoky Slate, and now I've come back in with a pencil, but it's not as dark as stamping in black. If you stamped in black, it'd be it'd be a totally different image here. So, but I'm just putting a little bit of depth around it, not a huge amount, but just to, act as if there was a little bit of shadow going on, a little bit of shade where the sun can't get. Okay, I think I'm done. I will take a photo of that because I haven't got a light going on, because I've still got a little bit of flickering, which is really annoying. But I will take a photo of that and post that because it'll be so much nicer. So there we have a little bit of a rusty wheelbarrow there for you. So go and look at photos, go and look at photos, like put into Google, wheelbarrows full. A lot of them are wood as well, wood wheelbarrows. So you might be able to change the texture, you get an idea of the color, you'll get an idea of how rusty they could be. Like I saw one that was completely like rusted out but had lots of white patches in it as well, which would be really fun to play with. So you can have a play. I might actually, let me just try that. See, I need to step away when I get ideas going on. So this is just drawing like little dots or little oval-y things. So it's not meant to be shine, it's just meant to enhance those rusty spots. Anyway, I could probably keep on playing and playing and playing, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stop now. So I hope that gives you a little bit of inspiration. I hope you've got this stamp set. You can go and play with it. The gates are really fun to play with. Actually, they're all really fun to play with. So have fun with it. Have fun and share. Come back in and share. If you have a go at a rusty wheelbarrow, come back and share what you've done. I'd love to see it. Okay, thanks very much, and we will catch you later. Bye-bye.